Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Bibzuda here once again, back for some more Resident Evil 4 Remake Hardcore S Plus walkthrough, doing Chapter 11 here. This is yet another long chapter. The castle is probably the longest part of the game, I would definitely say. But yeah, that's because we have the minecart rides in this chapter, which are quite long. So here I go ahead and repair my armor, and then I buy a large resource there because we are going to want some flash grenades for this next part. I have 3 flash grenades right now, and I recommend you have at least 2, but 3 is probably safer, just because it can be a little bit spooky in here, because the next part we're going through has 3 chainsaw, or no, not 3, 2 chainsaw people in it. One of the chainsaw villagers, and then one of the chainsaw sister ladies is here as well. So it can get pretty dangerous, and since those guys have so much health and are really annoying to kill, I decide, and I think it's best to just run straight through this section to get the dynamite. Little fact, if you didn't know, you can actually skip this whole section when you have a rocket launcher. You can just blast open the way instead of getting the dynamite, which is pretty cool that they have that as a skip. There's actually a lot of cool skips like that you can do with the rocket launcher, and even without it in a couple different places. But yeah, I basically just straight up run here, right over here. There should be nobody in your way except for this guy, who I blast in the face, and I think he is always a plaga, but you can just run by while he's like spawning in. And then I roll a flashbang through the door here to blind the chainsaw lady, quickly run in and pull the lever. Careful you don't kick her by accident, because they usually don't fall over when you kick them, the chainsaw people, and it can be a bit dicey in terms of being able to pull the lever at that point. So make sure you get next to her and pull the lever instead of kicking her. And then I just post up at this door and basically wait until I see her, or possibly the other chainsaw guy, running down the stairs, and then I open the door and run out. As long as it's locked, nobody can come in behind you and kill you. And usually there'll be nobody like guarding the door or anything like that. And then you can run up the stairs here and utilize this barrel whenever one of the chainsaw people gets close. And by this time, the bridge should be down and you can go across. I break out the shotgun for these 2 guys and this one guy in here. Grab the dynamite, and personally, I think it's pretty worth it to loot these 3 boxes over here, because there are 3. And it can be decent to get those. I probably should have shotgunned that guy before throwing that flashbang, but as a result, I do take a hit there. But yeah, then I throw another flashbang there to run out and blind some people, and then you should have enough time to run in here quickly and grab the golden hourglass. But I would recommend throwing a 3rd flashbang if it is too close, just because it's probably worth it to spend a flashbang in order to get that treasure. And yeah, just like that, you're in and out really quick to grab that dynamite and not have to waste tons of ammo on the chainsaw people. So yeah, that's how I like to do that section. Also, don't worry about Luis. He is he's still in there, and he's not going to end up catching up, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about him like you do Ashley. He'll fend for himself, and then he'll show up whenever you kick open the vent cover to get to the double El Gigante fight. So we're just running up here towards that now, and take a couple seconds here to go loot these crates back here, and then we can start the double El Gigante fight here. So yeah, this is not too hard. I recommend dropping them both into the lava, because that's just faster. And they only give you, like, one of them gives you a yellow diamond, the other one gives you a red barrel, which is pretty good. Honestly, those are the best gems, but I don't think it's worth the extra time and ammunition you have to put in to get them to drop it. So I shoot. Obviously, you can only damage the one without armor, so I'll just unload my red 9 into it while simultaneously running around the room and looting stuff until its plaga comes out. And then you can do whatever approach you want here. Also, when they're across the room, you can sometimes dodge with E. But you can use your sniper, you can use your shotgun, you can continue using the red 9. Whatever you feel comfortable hitting it with, you can use that. One thing you can do is kind of utilize the control panel to hide from them, because they do get kind of snagged on it, the little thing that you pull to drop it into the hatch. And right here, it's a bit of a risky hatch drop, because the armored one is on me, which doesn't happen that often. It's usually attacking Luis, but I'm able to get it in time to drop it in there, and then we just have this other one to deal with. So yeah, pretty much what you want to do is wait for Luis to go in, run away, because he has to go through like a little gap in the wall or whatever. He took a little while to do it here because the giant was actually in his way, so that was kind of unlucky. But yeah, always be ready to dodge their jump attack with the E, and Luis will go away, and he comes back pretty dang quick, and he'll go up on that platform and then, you know, attach the dynamite to its back. Get hit there. Sometimes it's hard to avoid getting hit by these guys. They do cover a lot of distance with their swings, but just try and keep your distance as best you can. Watch out for their charge and jump attacks that cover a ton of distance. Here comes a charge attack right there. And try and get it over near this raised platform, which is where Luis will show up, because then he will show up and then instantly jump on. And what you want to do is try and wait for it to be on the middle part before you shoot it. I didn't realize that at this point, I guess, or I just forgot, because then you can just drop into the hatch right away. But it can be hard to get it to stand on there because it's on Luis during this part, so you have time to shoot it. So as you can see, I am kind of waiting. I'm trying to wait, hoping it will go and stand on it. I'm not shooting at it, the dynamite or anything, but it's not happening just yet. And at this point, I kind of realized, like, I don't think it's gonna walk on it, so I just go ahead and shoot the dynamite to get it to go down. And I do jump up and start meleeing it here, just because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to be able to get it to go on the hatch or not, given the fact that it wouldn't do it right there. So yeah, we get it down from hitting the dynamite, and then I walk over here and try and stay near Luis, and then hopefully can get it to go down near the hatch as well. Again, utilizing the control panel here to kind of make some distance, because it does, again, have a bit of trouble getting around that. But yeah, I like using the Red 9 a bit for hitting the thing, because the handgun ammo is less precious, I guess, is the main reason, and I have trouble hitting it. Here I get grabbed. I have a hard time dodging that attack too. So basically I kind of suck, but since now it's like right on the middle, Luis actually gets the final shot in there, but I was getting ready to shotgun it, and then we can drop it in to the hatch as well, and that is the boss fight done. Honestly, it's not that difficult. The original game, you were in that fight by yourself, which was much more difficult, but this time you have Luis there to help you out. Right here, don't do what I'm doing, actually. You want to stand away from it for a second, and that usually gets him to say we can go through here a little bit quicker. So yeah, do that. And then also, when you're at the door here waiting for him to unlock it, I think he doesn't unlock it unless you're not at the door, like you don't have the prompt. I'm not sure, because right here it seems like it takes way too long for him to open the door, and I'm like, what's going on? So I take 2 steps away, and then he's like, there, it's open. So you might want to stay away from the door until he says it's open, and then quickly go open it. You can loot this thing right here for the Illuminados pendant, which is pretty good. And then there's 2 barrels under the stairs, which are obviously lootable as well. And we are going to be moving on now to the, also grab the green herb right there. We're going to be moving on now to the minecart rides, which there's not a whole lot to say about, honestly, because they are basically like auto-scroller sections. Just make sure you're shooting the guys whenever they show up, shoot the boards, shoot the track switches, and you'll be good to go. The only thing that there is to even mention on these is in the second half of the, the second minecart ride where the chainsaw guy is, you can kill him much more quickly by just shooting his cart and making it explode, and then he'll, not be a problem for the rest of the ride. So that's what I would recommend doing. You'll see me do it in this recording here. But yeah, other than that, oh yeah, obviously also make sure you're leaning to the left or right whenever required to make sure the cart doesn't flip over, because that would be a pretty bad thing to happen. But yeah, other than that, what else could I talk about during this part? As far as once I finish this walkthrough of the Hardcore S+, I am, like I said, going to do a Professional S+ walkthrough, in which I will be only utilizing the base game stuff, so no attaché case differences. Like, if you have the gold attaché case or whatever, however you say that word, I don't know, the gold case is really, really good, but you have to have pre-ordered the game to get that. But if you have it and you want to make life easier for yourself, I would recommend using that for your S+ runs, because that gets you a ton of extra money. But yeah, I'll just be sticking with the base case, and then wow, my aim is not so good right here, but yeah, and I won't be using the Chicago typewriter, or rather the Chicago sweeper, or the hand cannon, or any extra accessories or anything like that, including the Ashley armor suit. I'll be foregoing that for the Professional S+, just to try and make it as as difficult as possible for myself, I guess. And then I'll say, you know, during the recording, I'll obviously outline a bunch of ways that you can make it easier for yourself, which will help people out. Number one, in my opinion, being the Ashley armor suit, but also getting the hand cannon and the Chicago sweeper is good. Even if you don't want to use them for whatever reason, you can still sell them for a good, like, I think they're like 25, 50k pesetas each, even without upgrading. So you just get them in your storage at the beginning of the game, and you can sell those. I won't be doing that, of course, but that's obviously another option for you. And then, as I've said in this guide, you can definitely utilize rocket launchers for the difficult bosses. That includes Salazar, Krauser, and Sadler, in my opinion. Those three are the bosses that would really warrant a rocket launcher. I would say that you can definitely do that, and even on professional, that'll be even better to do. And if you want to do that in this walkthrough, by the way, I haven't talked about it too much, but I've mentioned it in passing. Basically, I would say upgrade the Red 9 to its maximum, including the exclusive upgrade, and then maybe get 1 or 2 power upgrades on the riot gun. Don't upgrade the sniper really at all, and then just save up money for rocket launchers. And if you end up having a huge excess of money, then you can obviously spend it on additional upgrades, but that's pretty much what I recommend there, is just get the Red 9 to max, shotgun power up a little bit, and you should be good to go for being able to afford rocket launchers. Of course, you really only need to be able to afford it for Salazar and Krauser, because as I've said previously, you can go ahead and sell all your stuff and buy one for Sadler, because you don't need your guns after him. Here at the minecart stop, obviously, as you just saw, I just quickly take out those 3 guys. They're really inconsequential, but I do want to loot the flagon, or whatever, however you say that, in the chest there. Go ahead and grab that. Walk a little towards the minecart, so Lewis will run over and jump into it, and then you can double back quickly and loot that barrel for some additional stuff. And yeah, we're good to go here on the second ride. So, but yeah, as I was saying with the rocket launchers, definitely make use of them if you like. Something else you can also do, which I only just learned about right before I started recording this voiceover, is the fact that you can use 2 golden eggs. If you throw 2 golden eggs at Salazar, he will instantly die, which is pretty weird, and I didn't actually know that before now, so I've never done it, but I saw some videos of it happening, so I think it is a real thing, and that's just an interesting like Easter egg that they put in. So right here, after you kill those 2 guys in the carts, just unload your clip into the chainsaw guy's minecart, and that'll get it damaged a little bit. And that's just what you want to do after, you know, whenever he's around, to get him to die more quickly. But yeah, that's also an option. You can get 1 golden egg from the Chicken Island right after the Del Lago fight, whenever you're going around the lake in the village. And then you can get an additional one from the throne room using the cube little unlocking thing that has a bunch of different things you can unlock in the castle, and you can get another golden egg from there. So that's where you would get 2 of them in one playthrough. Right here, try to shoot that explosive cart, because that is the chainsaw guy up there, if you didn't know. And that will seriously damage his cart, although you don't need to hit that shot. It is kind of difficult. It will help you kill him even faster if you weren't able to, if you are able to hit that. But yeah, since I did hit that, as he comes through here on our left, I just shoot him once and he is gone. I don't have to worry about him anymore. If you didn't, then just look at him on your left, and whenever he like raises his chainsaw about to swing, you only need to shoot him 1 time to get him to stop, and then just unload again on his cart. And then you can usually kill him right here when he's coming up the ramp on your left. You'll be able to destroy his cart at that point, even if you didn't hit the explosive barrel on the upper track earlier. And yeah, that's basically it. Just take out the guys and do everything as normal from here, and you're good to go for the minecart sections. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, for the Salazar thing, you can, for some reason, kill him with 2 golden eggs, which I think it's a cool thing to have in the game, especially because, as far as I know, those are the only 2 places you can get them, and there's a highly useful incentive to sell one of your golden eggs pretty quickly after getting it in the village, because there is a merchant quest for you to sell one. And that obviously gives you those valuable spinels, which you can use for trading for quite a few different and useful things. So I probably won't be doing that, using those golden eggs to kill Salazar in my professional run, but that's certainly a viable option for you to go for as well, because it is quite an annoying boss. Yeah, I think I've successfully padded the minecart section with a couple of random things to talk about, and we are now moving on to the big bug cave. Again, as I said in, was it the last chapter, or maybe it was chapter 9? I don't quite remember. I think it was the last chapter. Really not a big fan of the Novistadors, the bugs here. They're a really annoying enemy in this game, but they're not too bad to deal with in this room. I feel like they are actually worse in the room that you do it at the, in the castle itself. Right here at the start, there are 3 of them camouflaged that you can take out right there. 1, 2, 3. With a focused Red 9 shot in the head, they will die in 1 hit every time. If you didn't know, if you do let the crosshair come together, so that it's as small as it can be, that does do slightly more damage whenever you fire it. So that can be useful in certain spots like that to get additional damage off if needed. But it's usually obviously not worth it when you're in the thick of combat because it will take a while to close. But yeah, right here, right when you're coming out, this has happened to me a few times. This one will come up behind you. Lewis will do absolutely nothing about it. And yeah, so just be careful of that. And I do try to fight off most of the bugs here, similarly to how I did in the castle. Again, partially because they are really annoying. They will catch up to you. There's a camouflaged one right there. And they will catch up to you and hit you and be really annoying. But again, as I said, they also do drop sapphires on a quite regular basis, so I would highly recommend grabbing those whenever you kill one nearby. They might have dropped one. Right there, he falls through the rock, and I'm not able to get the knife kill on him, which was pretty annoying. In this one, I nearly get grabbed by, but quickly shoot the barrel. It was camouflaged right there next to that. And there's also another camouflaged one. They are surprisingly hard to spot on occasion. These ones got a little too close for comfort for me, so I quickly panicked, pulled out my shotgun. That one seems like it flew off, so I go ahead and ignore it. Quickly detoured down this path on the right to grab some barrels. I got 2 velvet blues from that. That's pretty lucky. And then kill this camouflaged guy in the hallway. Shoot this red barrel right here to kill one of the bugs that's off to the right, and go where he came from to grab 2 crates. And then we're going to take a short detour off into this dark cave on the right here to grab a treasure from this chest. Seems like a creepy little cave or a trap might occur, but nothing really actually happens in here, which is kind of surprising. But there's a large gold bar in there, which is very nice. This must have been the bug that flew away earlier, because usually there's not one waiting for you out here whenever you leave that cave. And taking a little bit to die there, but another sapphire to the collection, so pretty nice. And then coming up on the exit to this cave, there's going to again be bugs that come after you. You can utilize that explosive barrel if you want. And there's one on the path right there, camouflaged always. And at this point, I'm trying to just pretty much run. And you want to usually dip into this merchant spot here on the right, because that'll basically de-aggro the bugs for the most part. And you can, do your merchant things. So selling off all of the sell-only stuff, we put ourselves over that 100k mark. And I am going to fully upgrade the Red 9 with its exclusive for that extra 1.5 times power. So we now have that thing maxed out. And now I personally am going to be putting my money into the riot gun. But again, if you don't want to deal with the boss fights, you can start saving up for rocket launchers and use them on the bosses. So yeah, gotta wait for Lewis here, and he trolls you by stopping short for a second, but then you can hit the button and start the elevator ride. Right when those doors close, you can skip the cutscene to move on, and then we're in the Krauser fight. This is just something you kind of have to practice a little bit. Just block all of his attacks and then slash whenever you have an opening to deal damage back to him. Sometimes you can slash while he's slashing and get a little unlucky and get damaged, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. You can get perfect parries, and whenever there's a nice melee prompt, I would recommend using that to kick him. But yeah, it's pretty quick if you go for stabs on him often enough, and are blocking everything and not getting hit too much. Obviously, this one you got to mash to get it free from that, and just continue it. There's not really a whole lot of tips to give for this. Just make sure you are actually attacking back fairly often, because if you don't, then obviously it'll take a lot longer here. If you only attack like when you can melee, like after a parry like that, it won't work out too well for you. You definitely want to make sure you're attacking after most of his attacks, and of course be ready to dodge many things with the E button to avoid many of his kicks and things like that. And there you have it. So it's pretty quick if you're going on the offensive enough, and you can do it without taking too much damage. 19 and a half minutes for chapter 11 there, not too bad. And that's the auto-scrolling minecarts out of the way. Next chapter is 12, where we take on the clock tower and fight Salazar, the final boss of the castle. One of the more annoying boss fights in the game for sure. So this one I would definitely recommend. If you're interested to skip it with a rocket launcher, go for that. Or potentially the golden egg strat is always there for you as well, allegedly, which is, again, surprising to me that that even exists. But if that's your cup of tea, then utilize those to kill them instantly. And yeah, hope this helped you guys out. I'll see you for chapter 12 in a little bit.